amateur mixed martial artist. Well, non-pro, not amateur, non-pro, which means we didn't get paid for it. But that's what my fight name was. Jay the Doc, the Doc. Today I'm gonna give y'all a few tips, free of charge, on how to take care of some common skin and nail problems. I did do dermatology rotations when I was in internal medicine residency, so I did have an expressed interest in skincare and continue to expand my knowledge. I've learned a lot from people like masseuses, man. Like when I was in the Bay, I used to go to the spa right next to my house, right next to my apartment complex. And the Vietnamese friend that I had, what's up, Judy? She's on the corner of San Pablo University. Her name's Judy. If you go there, tell her, your friend, the black doctor from Montana, says hello. And thanks for all the good years of keeping the skin looking fresh and tight. And I learned a lot from her. Even though I was a medical doctor and I had taken dermatology rotations, what you have to realize is that some of the more mundane aspects of skincare, medicine just takes for granted that your grandmother or grandfather passed down some family secrets, and that's not always so. Some people really don't know how to take care of their skin, and trust me, I'm a doctor. I have an express interest in dermatology, and one of our teachers in school was a very well known dermatologist, and he was one of the department heads in our educational experience at my medical school. So dermatologists have an extensive knowledge of medicine, and they just look at the skin as the window, so to speak. The dentist talked to us on the medical side when I was a student about how many diseases they could diagnose just from looking at your teeth and your gums. And they expressly wanted us to know as medical doctors that they could for sure diagnose things like diabetes from looking at your teeth and your gums. And that's just dental. And I'm saying that because part of your alimentary or part of your integumentary system, I kind of include the teeth because they're kind of outside the body, kind of. They're inside, but I put those as part of the integumentary skincare system, you know, and that's a whole nother because we actually do know how to do dental procedures in emergency medicine because often people come to the emergency room because they have a toothache. So we do a lot of blocks, nerve blocks. Yeah, medical doctors. And the dentist always go, "Oh my gosh." It's like, come on, dude, really? We do heart surgery. You think we can't numb teeth up? All right, buddy. Let's just put the shingles to the side for a second and let's talk about what we're all capable of doing at our level of training. If Green Beret medic can do it in the field, in some jungle in Southeast Asia, to some you know, person who's hurt, maybe a civilian, because special forces don't always work on just military people. I was a combat medic in the army. We work on civilians too if they get hurt. So in the military, you need a wide a wide area of expertise, especially if you're a combat medic, Green Beret medic, et cetera, et cetera. My point for telling you guys all this is that a lot of the stuff that you do for yourself is just from self learning. Like, so even as a doctor, I'm basically trying to relate to you guys that we're not given enough for some of the more common problems, enough time in certain rotations. I mean, I would have loved to do a year of dermatology, but that means I'm going to go do a fellowship damn near. So we get a few months with the dermatologist, but I was lucky because my dermatologist was an author. He wrote books. I'm forgetting his name right now, but he's a dermatologist. When I was there in Murfreesboro, uh, no, I'm sorry, it wasn't Murfreesboro. That's Tennessee. It was New Orleans, in New Orleans area, in Metairie. So he had a practice in Metairie. So some of you cats that come on here that know the area, y'all might be able to guess the dermatologist because he was a well-known dermatologist in Metairie, Louisiana, in 1992, 1993, for sure in 1999, 1998, because that's when I came out of my residency program and I had done a rotation with him as part of my internal medicine rotations residency program at Oxnard Hospital in New Orleans. So I was like, I want to do a dermatology rotation, and believe you me, I mean, we cut off precancerous lesions. We do, basic surgical stuff too. We don't just, we can do dermabrasion if we chose to, but my Vietnamese friends showed me some secrets. So, for instance, there's a certain preparation I think that contains papaya that is extremely acidic. If you can find it, the hair and nail specialists at the spas know how to get it. I know it has papaya in it because I was looking when I was getting those treatments because I was a doctor. I'm like, I want to know what you're using because I might want to do this for myself. I may not want to come to the spa every time. So I can tell you it has papaya in it and it is very acidic, like the salicylic acid solutions. So I can't go in there because my daughter's asleep. But I use Neutrogena pads on my skin. And the key ingredient in Neutrogena pads is the salicylic acid. Okay. You have to take off that top layer of dead skin. I don't care if it's your feet. Huh? Oh, she's upstairs. Okay. I don't care if it's your feet. I don't care if it's your hands or your face. You have to remove, exfoliate the epidermal dead layers of skin, or you cannot even begin to talk about keeping your skin, nails, feet, skin healthy. So the most basic thing I have to do as African descendant, my skin's pretty oily, so I don't spend a lot of time, slicking up. But you know, right, right, and the key ingredient in this is salicylic acid, 2% active ingredient for the treatment of acne. Yeah, okay. So, giving y'all all my secrets. And anybody who wants to know what to buy me, as you can see, I like Versace and I like Polo too. So we good on that end, right? Uh, all right, let's continue the skincare tutorial. You can get that at your local Walmart store. Use it every day. It's got some rough edges around the pad, so it really scrubs that dead stuff off of your face. And I got something special for all of y'all who get the toenail funguses and the tinea pedis, tinea cruris, also known as athlete's fit and crotch rot, as we call it in the military, and specifically onychomycosis, which is medical term for fungal infection of the toenails, which is pretty common out here because as doctors we notice. Even though we don't say we do, we see your feet and your nails because that's what we do for a living. So don't take it personal. So if you come in my office and you got crotch rot, tinea pedis, tinea cruris, and you got onychomycosis, I'm gonna be like, oh my God, I might need to take 5 minutes out of your time to talking about your diabetes, to talk about skincare. You know, this is a part of medicine that people don't realize that we do. Like when we say we're general practitioners, internists, family practice, got a pretty wide level of knowledge, man. We've done rotations in dermatology. We're human beings just like you, and because we're scientists, we figure out through our own experience what really works. And so, if you got toenail infections, onychomycosis, I know y'all are gonna like this one because a lot of people out there got toenail fungus. Um, Epidermophyton, microphyton are the organisms that cause it. If you want to know the microbiology of it, and there's others too. But anyway, epidermophyton and I think mycophyton, epidermophyton and mycophyton. Yeah, but this one right here, Walmart may not have. So let me turn my camera around. When you get into the shower and your body's all warm, Get you a little bit of that there. This is lavender flower, 60 milligrams. The lavender flower is known as Lavandula angustifolia. And if you took Latin, you'd know how to pronounce that the first time you said it, because those are the kind of pronunciations we use in Latin class. So that's pronounced Lavandula angustifolia. And it's not Spanish, okay? It's a scientific species name for the lavender plant. Because in medicine, we're very specific about what we want you to rub on your body. And if you got the lavandula augustifolia in your house in leaf form, you can look up how to make this preparation for yourself. But realize this is extremely purified substance. And it has to be, if you want, in some cases, to be diluted with oils like we use coconut oil. You would take some of this, certain amount, put it in coconut oil, mix it with our little instruments, and make a preparation of this. But this is what for sure 100% kills toenail fungus. The lavender is my own experimental addition, and it makes your feet smell real nice. But yeah, but the eucalyptus therapeutic grade, you might be able to get this at your local Walmart. You put that directly into the nails, you see, directly into the nails. When the foot when the foot is when the foot is wet, you know, when the foot is wet, there you go. See, it's healthy nails. We need healthy nails. It's a part of the whole thing in healthcare. Okay. So what's up, Sugar Booger? Grapeseed oil. Okay, Sugar. I was reading some of your stuff on my Instagram, Sugar. I was like, oh damn, me Sugar. we got some funny stuff on Instagram. Our conversations. Thank you for adding that, my friend. Thank you, Manesh. I'm glad you like my feet. Cause okay, let me show y'all. I'm actually fighting a nail infection. So let me show y'all how it works. Okay? This is the nail that I'm fighting it on. If you can see, the very tip of the nail is discolored. So it was down to the base. Now the discoloration is moving up all the way slowly to the top. But what's happening is as I apply this, when I get out of the bath or shower, yeah, yeah, that discoloration is onychomycosis. Okay, and that is much better. That is much better than it was 3 months ago. 3 months ago, because in science we show evidence. we don't we don't just talk out our ass like most people. Yeah, we show. You see, evidence. The infection was at the bottom of the toenail. Now it's slowly moved up, and eventually the fresh new nail will come up and push the infection out of my toenail. I followed the evidence because I'm a scientist. And this is what has done it right here. Eucalyptus oil. And I don't apply it every day like I should. I'll be honest. That's why it's taking so long for it to work. But now, in the past 2 weeks, I've added to my arsenal lavender. So I mix the two oils together and rub them after the shower or bath when the toes are warm and you've done your dermabrasion with your pumice stone, the stone my daughter likes to chew on as she walks around the house. What are you doing? Oh, that's my son, the real Ananda. He's on my broadcast. Oh, you found me too, huh? You just found everybody. You found Izzy. He found Izzy the other day. It jumped into our broadcast. Now he didn't hijack mine. Are you a hacker? Huh? Are you a hacker? Let him see your shirt. That's a cool shirt, man. Yeah, that's a cool shirt. So we will continue. As you can see, the onychomycosis is a pretty common problem for athletes like myself because our feet are sweating all the time from jumping and running and hiking and kicking and yogaing, etc. DBZ. Oh, she said she liked Dragon Ball Z. Sugar Booger said DBZ my favorite. Dragon Ball Z is her favorite. Oh, he got the new Mortal Kombat. You want to see? Come on, show him the new Mortal Kombat. He cost me $50, but it's a good Mortal Kombat game. Let's see.
New Mortal Kombat.
New Mortal Kombat. Go ahead, play your character. You playing Cabal, right?
Yeah.
921. What the hell's 921 under? Yeah, it used to cost me 25 cents to play video games, but now it's $50. Yeah, $50 just to play Mortal Kombat. Okay, things have changed. I see you got it on easy mode, but we ain't gonna talk about you. We're gonna let you get by with that one since you're a little kid, you know. You can go on easy, but just show them that finishing moves though. Show them you learned that finish move. What's the combination? Show everybody the combination for the finishing move at the end. What is it?
Left, right, down, right, X.
Left, right, down, right, X. There you go. He just saved y'all some time, you Mortal Kombat fans. You when you do that finishing move, it's left, right, down, right, X is the combo for the finishing move. All right, so because we always gonna get people something to not waste their time, you know, on these broadcasts. Because a lot of y'all like to waste people's times. But anyway, there you go. Let's see you. Let's see you work them. See you work them double swords real quick. That's pretty brutal combat, man. If I was getting my ass kicked like that, I'd probably tap out and just walk away. Just saying. But anyway, my son is you in the red right now, nah? Oh no, what color are you?
I'm red.
You red? Oh, it's pretty even now. Your yellow getting kind of low, bruh. You might want to pull some of those special moves out of your ass. Just saying. Because your red getting a little wee bit low. You're yellow. What color are you?
Red.
Red? It's kind of close there, bruh. It's kind of, you might be taking that ass whooping right here on the haps. But that's okay. Unless you pull something out of your ass. What color are you?
Red.
It was close, though. It was really close. Man. Round two. Okay, so you got a chance. It ain't over. I almost forgot about round two. You may want to fight a little bit harder this time, bro. Just saying. You might want to keep your distance. Because in martial arts, we learn to keep a distance from our opponent when he has superior reach, striking power, and precision. That's just a little art of war for you, okay? You keep your distance when your opponent is extremely fast and powerful. And then you pick your shots carefully, usually trying to strike internal vital points, as we all know from our Taekwondo lessons. The eyes, the throat. Huh? Who? Because I'm being funny. Why you interrupting me? Really? Who cares? Nobody can see. Do you really think Elder Grove School watches my broadcast? Swear to God, my wife. You think every boy in this school not playing this game? Then you are delusional. Oh yeah, you guys cut it in half. That's the finishing move.
Yeah.
You did it. That's a nice view of the body. I told him about the alimentary canal. The spinal cord runs behind this layer, but the alimentary canal, from the mouth to the esophagus to the anus, you can see pretty clear representation in this body cross section. That's a nice cross section. It's a little superficial. Oh, actually, it's pretty deep, so you can't see a lot of the organs. But we call that a coronal section in medicine. All right. Anyway, everybody wants to get in on the act. Who said that long ago? That's what I say when my family members try to interrupt me with the expertise in areas that I'm quite aware of. But anyway, kind of to use this ginger, I think. Be drinking them orange hole. So we got an extensive dermatological um, class today. We've already talked about. You see in the cross section of the subcutaneous layers in the body and coronal section, thanks to Mortal Kombat. And we talked about onychomycosis. You basically get put the oil directly onto the nail. The nail is not sensitive like the skin. If you put the oil directly on the skin, depending on how concentrated it is, it might burn. So you can dilute it with coconut oil. Sugar says she uses grapeseed oil as her carrier, which is a lot less dense than coconut oil. Well, the coconut shampoo that we use, not shampoo but oil, sorry, is really for cooking, and it's really thick like lard. It's like lard. It's really thick. So you could put it in. I've done this before. I've actually done this. I've taken the coconut oil. I mixed in like lemon, I think lemon oil, and another oil into the coconut oil. I really mixed it well. The only thing I noticed is that if you let it sit for a long time, it will separate out. Then you have to remix it again. That was the only thing I noticed about using coconut, the thick coconut. Okay, will you please stop? What are you? What are you saying? What's F and F?
Oh, it's Friday Night Funkin'.
Oh, that's another game, right? Friday Night Funkin'. Okay. What is today? I don't even know what day it is. What day of the week is it? Hey, give me my Apple Watch. It should be charged.
Thursday, April 29th.
Thursday, April 29th. Appreciate it. Go get my Apple Watch. Go get it. God, just step fast, you forgot. Uh, so dilute the oil if you're gonna use it for tinea pedis, also known as athlete's feet. Thank you. You want to dilute it if you use it for that. Me personally, I probably wouldn't put it in my crotch area. I would go get clotrimazole or nystatin cream for my crotch area. But to each his own. If you're really dedicated to the naturopathic life, dilute it down appropriately. I'll just leave it at that. That one's on you. Your privates is your own business, but we will help you out. Anyway, any questions? So now you have two. The lavender, I'm not sure. Like I told y'all, the lavender I added as my own experiment because at the very least, the lavender smells nice. So that is a part of essential oil work is the smell. Sometimes you can use essential oils. Those of you who don't want to wear deodorant, like I don't wear deodorant because it contains aluminum. Aluminum is a known cause of senility and will exacerbate Alzheimer's disease, most likely if you get a certain concentration in your brain. Therefore, I don't use regular deodorants, but maybe 3, 4 times a year sometimes. If I really want to stay dry, I mean, it's like, okay, but I don't want Alzheimer's. So this is about what's important to you. If you want to be Alzheimer's and smell good, I'm not gonna criticize you. Just please don't try to drive me in the car to the store because I don't want you running into a tree because you forgot to just make a turn. All because you've been using deodorant for 50, 60 years, getting enormous aluminum concentrations into your bloodstream because the skin is definitely a vehicle for using storing medications. We go through the skin. It's called transdermal. So you are transdermally, transdermally, dermis is skin, giving yourself a dose of aluminum every time you rub certain deodorants under your armpits, your axilla, we call it. The skin of the axilla, if you notice, is a little bit thinner than the skin of your feet and your face. So in medicine, that means things will cross easier. That's why we use under the tongue as a vehicle. It's called sublingual. We have many routes in medicine: sublingual, axillary, transdermal, transocular. I could use drops. Some people would give themselves their LSD. Transocular. I'm sure Jimi Hendrix and Jim Morrison might know a little something about that. I could be wrong. Jim Morrison, if he didn't know about it, man, I would be really, really shocked. The lead singer from The Doors. And if you don't know what Jimi Hendrix is, then well, I can't help you. Um, no questions. So I think I've given y'all a good overview about how to use these essential oils. They have practical uses, really important uses, holistic medical uses that will save you time in the doctor's office, time trying to figure out what the hell's going on, because this stuff is just common, you know. But a lot of people, because they can't gain access for monetary reasons, or just a lot of it is not monetary reasons. A lot of it is just how people were raised in their family, what value people put on healthcare and sustaining, preventing disease. That's all taught and learned. So, you have to re-educate people if they don't understand the value of, you know, going to the doctor and get a prostate or PSA check, or a, a, breast exam and mammograms in women, PSAs, prostate checks, colon. My uncle fought and beat rectal cancer. So colonoscopy. How could I not talk about colonoscopy after age 50? At the very least, you should do. There's a test you can get, and it has what it is. There is a genetic sh- shift in cancer cells that they can detect with a commercial kit. So you can send a stool sample, and actually, just with that, would be better than nothing. And if it came back that you had something that was precancerous, um, you could then make the decision to go get a colonoscopy or get a proctoscopy, you know. Or I've detected cancer before in a patient with this instrument right here. This instrument right here. I found cancer before and saved the life with this instrument right here. Preventative medicine. Preventative medicine dermatologically would be if you get a lot of toenail infections or a lot of what am athletes feet, tinea pedis. You may want to get a preparation like that: grapeseed oil, coconut oil. Prepare it and use it preventatively. In other words, apply it certain number of times a week before you get the infections between your toes and your toenails. Uh, some people get it in their fingernails. That's whoa, scary. But I've seen it in pictures, not in real life. But you can get the onychomycosis infection, the microphyton, epidermophyton organisms, some other fungi whose names I'm not aware of, species names, can infect. It's hard to infect the fingernails because they get air. These fungi like wet, dark, dry, wet, dark places, not dry. And the fingernails stay relatively dry. That's why it's harder for them to sprout, because that's pretty much what they're doing. They're sprouting on you the same way they do in your garden, but they require water and a certain amount of air. They might use CO2 like plants. I'm not familiar, but I think since they are in the plant kingdom, I'm gonna say they probably use CO2, since CO2 is necessary to make sugar, and they use water from you. And the reason they need a dark space is that UV light kills microorganisms. So if the fungus is always exposed to the UV light from the sun, it's gonna die. So it needs a nice, dark, wet. Temperature is also important, but fungi can survive extreme temperatures by going into a spore form. And when they're in the spore form, like seeds, they can survive extremes of temperature that would probably kill us. And then they wait for the weather to change and they will resprout later. Yes, fungi are difficult to eradicate, they're difficult to treat because they have hyphae, like little fingers that come off of them, and they penetrate deeply into tissues. The hyphae are usually the largest portion of the organism. It's like a network, and the spores only come out after a certain level of maturity. Fungi have a whole life cycle, like plants, extremely complex physiology, and they are part of the animal kingdom, just like the rest of the organisms. They serve an important role. Some people like to eat portobello mushrooms, which I do, and truffles, but they serve a much larger role than portobello mushrooms and truffles. There's a symbiosis between them that probably keeps our body. There's probably a balance maintained on the skin and surface of our nails between fungi and other organisms like bacteria. It's just that the fungi probably don't sprout, so you don't get the infection. So everything in nature is like that. There's always a balance between your intestines have a huge number of microorganisms. We all know about that. But don't forget about the rest of your body that also has these microorganisms that we need to maintain a certain balance of to maintain health of the alimentary canal, skin, other parts of the body, like the toenails. So, trying to think if I missed anything. Like I said, traditionally you can treat tinea cruris, athlete's feet too, tinea pedis with stuff like clotrimazole, not statin cream, which you can get from Walmart. So you can treat, but the nail is harder. The parting message I will leave is that the nail is thicker. It is the same substance that goes into deer antlers and bull's horns. It is extremely thick. It is extremely difficult for a chemical oil based vehicle preparation to penetrate the nail. It's a very dense protein. Um, Celluloid is what they use in the plant kingdom, but this is the same materials that horns are made of. Your nails are. So you have to really get creative to find out what medications can be used to penetrate nails and fingernails and toenails. I want to say at a certain no, I think you can penetrate the whole nail regardless of how deep an organism has penetrated in, like a fungus. But you would have to leave the medication in contact. Now I'm giving y'all some extra hints for you for those of y'all that rode with me for 34 minutes. Here go we say in Louisiana long yap, something for no charge at all, and it's extra. The longer you leave the preparation in contact with the surface, based on the laws of chemistry, the higher the concentration is going to be downstream. Okay, sounds straightforward, but this is also a law of diffusion when we're dealing with water and concentration gradients, which drive nature's reactions. Some energy requiring, some passive, like osmosis and simple diffusion. And so, based on these basic laws of chemistry and physics, when you apply the substance to the area and leave it for longer periods of time, then you get a peak, then a plateau, and it levels off. And to maintain that concentration of medication over a certain period of time, you increase the rate of, in the case of bacteria, killing, fungi, killing. Because when somebody gives you an antibiotic, it has to reach a certain concentration in the bloodstream. Okay, penicillin doesn't matter what it is. Okay, rifampin, timentin, whatever, it doesn't matter. These are antibiotics. Amoxicillin, augmentin. A lot of you guys are taking that. Doxycycline. That they all got to reach certain levels of concentration to kill the organism. It's no different in your toenails. It has to reach a certain concentration, and it's going through an extremely dense protein matrix in your toenails. So by the time it gets to the fungus, it could be, I know for a fact what's happening, is that the active ingredient in the eucalyptus and the lavender are getting lower and lower in concentration. See, because they're moving a certain distance from where you put them on the nail at, and the process of diffusion means the concentration gradient is lower the further you get from the source, unless you reintroduce it downstream. So this sounds like really, really like, wow, all of that for toenail infection. Yeah. A lot of stuff I'm not even talking about. There's probably hundreds and hundreds of plant-based medicines out there that I don't know about that will kill these infections. And so if you are a naturopath or herbalist and you have evidence-based medicine, I hope you share it like this with people for no charge, because sometimes that's just the right thing to do, man. We can't always charge people 150 bucks every time they come into the office and ask us a simple ass question. Just share the knowledge, and then the love will always come back to you. Okay, trust me. I ain't starving. I ain't starving by any means. So thank y'all for hanging out with me and my son, and bearing with me as I spoke in my Urkel voice for at least an hour. Oh no, 37 minutes. It's crazy. Sometimes these broadcasts seem like they're longer, but it's only 37 minutes. Um, yeah, share that with a friend if you got a friend that's struggling with a nail and skin care. And I showed y'all the Neutrogena pads. Those you should use depending on your skin type, because when you apply the acid, salicylic acid, to skin, some of y'all are going to be sensitive to it, and you may not want it to stay on for very long. If you have a thicker skin, you can leave it on longer, and it won't burn. Like honestly, I could leave it on my face for hours, and it would basically just get washed off. I've used it for so long, and I have thicker skin. But some of y'all have really sensitive skin, so you may have to be really ginger with how you put it on you. That you may just want to real light. If you like me, you scrub because you want to exfoliate the outer layers of skin. You can go get dermabrasion, but I don't know if I don't know if anybody does that anymore. I haven't heard of dermabrasion being used in a while. It's done chemically now. We have the chemicals and medicines to do the same job of dermabrasion now. So I don't know why anyone would want to have a sander scraped across their skin in this day and age. But I'm not a dermatologist, so I can't say. They would be able to answer that question. Ask them, when was the last time you actually did dermabrasion? And I would probably say, well, I have papaya and salicylic acid. Why would I use dermabrasion? At the very least, after the dermabrasion chemical, you can still do with your hand a certain amount of exfoliation, which is what people in spas know. That's what they do. When I went to the spa, after Judy put the papaya preparation on my skin, I would sit in a dark room for like about an hour, and then she would come in and with her fingers, she would basically do this all over my face. I knew what she was doing was exfoliating, but I don't know what the prep. You can get the same stuff they use in a spa. Okay, I don't think there's a special license you need to get those chemicals. You just got to go online and look up, dermatological spa products, spa products for skincare. Look that up, and you should be on the internet to find some type of acidic preparation to help you keep your skin exfoliated. And after a certain amount of time, we do use the small beads in the oil. So it comes in different types of oils, and we do the exfoliation like this. Okay, every so many. I say you should probably do that once a month. Really, really exfoliate the outer layer of skin. I have things in coconut oil, but there's like small little particles and beads in them. And that is a gentle type of exfoliation that happens on the top of the skin. It doesn't really penetrate too far, but it will keep the pores a little more open on the top layer of the skin, because a lot of the acne you guys are getting actually comes from the bottom up. Okay, so sometimes you can't do anything from the top. It comes from the bottom up, and it has to do with diet and hormones and things like that. But you can keep the pores clear, which does benefit you. Okay, so get you some type of microdermabrasion product that you use once a month. Now I'm really getting. Now I really honestly, I'm giving y'all like a two, like OG skincare, man, here today. Like I talked about OG skincare. Like if you ain't looking good after this, hey, and you saw this, it's your own fault. All right, each one teach.